From the All Indiana Podcast Network, it's the Canine Lowe-Down, helping you get wise to the whys behind your dog's behavior.
That's a good boy.
With the American Dog Whisperer, Nathan Lowe.
Hi there, I'm Nathan Lowe, the American Dog Whisperer, and you're listening to the Canine Lowe-Down. Thanks so much for joining me today. I love dogs. I hear this all the time. And you say, well, what's wrong with that, Nathan? Well, nothing's wrong with that. I love dogs too. But very often, the person who is professing their love of dogs to me is in possession of a dog who is unruly, uncontrolled, and chronically misbehaving. Well, apparently, the human emotion of love is not enough to drive good behavior in our dogs and give them a balanced, harmonious life. I'll explain more today as we chat about this very important topic on the Canine Lowe-Down.
Temp check. What kind of summer are we having this year? A family road trip summer? A beach bum summer? Or a wake me up when the sun sets summer? With Instacart, choose your own adventure and skip the shopping side quests. Where available, you can get ice cream delivered to your hotel, sunscreen to the pool, or cold brew to your bed. Well, door, in as fast as 30 minutes. Wherever you find yourself this summer, you can get the goods. Download Instacart for free delivery on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Minimum $10 per order. Excludes restaurants. Additional terms and fees apply.
Okay, it's time to commit. 2024 is the year for prioritizing yourself. Begin your new smile journey with Bite, and you could start seeing results in just 2 to 3 weeks. Just order your at-home impression kit today for only $14.95 at Byte.com. Bite clear liners are doctor-directed and delivered to your door. Treatment costs thousands less than braces, plus they offer financing options, accept eligible insurance, and you could pay with your HSA, FSA. Get 80% off your impression kit when you use code WONDERY at Byte.com. That's BYTE.com. Start your confidence journey today with Byte.
So the title of the podcast today, When Love Is Not Enough, I thought, do I really want to say that? I do want to say that, but I want to explain myself. The subtitle is Limitations of Human Affection and Dog Ownership. Here is the thing. Let's define love, first of all. I think what most people mean when they say they love dogs or they love their dog is they have some type of warm, affectionate feeling toward their dog. But let me tell you, that can be a double-edged sword. That's a good thing, as we're going to find out, if it motivates the right things, but it can be a very detrimental thing if it doesn't motivate leadership. Love is not enough to produce good behavior in your dog. Whether you have a shelter dog, whether you've got a dog from a breeder when they were a puppy, whether you adopted a dog later in life, in their life, or in your life, what are the parameters by which we can operate that help our dogs have the best life possible? Well, let's think about this. Number one, love is not enough if it doesn't drive active leadership. So much of the time, and especially people with big hearts that adopt shelter dogs, they say, I just need him to know we love him. We just need the dog to know we love him. No, actually, that's not what's needed. Because what you're going to do to convince the dog you just love him is you're going to end up often talking in a high-pitched voice. Hi, baby. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Those tones right there are going to automatically give your dog a job in their mind. Your dog is going to now say, oh, wow, okay, I have human puppies to look out for. Listen to the sounds they're making. Remember that puppies make sounds like that. All those are puppy sounds. You start making sounds like that because you love your dog's going to get the wrong idea, can become hyper protective of you, concerned with everywhere you go in the house, so you can't even go to the bathroom without your dog going in the bathroom with you. That kind of love from you as a human is not working out to help your dog have a relaxed life. Your love has to drive active leadership. You can't say, I just need him to know I love him. The problem is your behavior when you're in that emotion is going to look, if you're not careful, like you're the puppy in the relationship. And that is not leadership. Then suddenly you put your dog in the leadership position, and your dog doesn't want that. Your dog wants to follow, wants order, wants a parental pack leader. So love is not enough if it doesn't drive active leadership. 2, love is not enough when it ends in coddling and spoiling. Now, people say, especially I see this with shelter dogs, and this is super important. Please hear me out on this. I've done this job for 17 years, and I started in shelters, and I still work in shelters, and I see this all the time. Please, folks, listen to me on this. Often, like I said earlier, the people with the biggest hearts will say, we're getting a shelter dog. I love that. I love that you want to do that. But then the narrative, even some shelters will push this narrative as well. This dog just needs to be loved and spoiled. No. That's not what is needed for this dog to come to peace and to have a great life. It is not that. Because how people spoil dogs results, again, in the dog gaining more and more leadership power in the home. People allow the dog up in their bed to sleep with them. That is a sleeping place of leadership. For a dog, getting up high, that equals authority. Sleeping with the humans on top of their scent, they become possessive of the humans often. So now you have a dog that's in a shelter for a reason because someone probably couldn't handle them most of the time. Now you bring them to your house. They're in a new situation where you can teach them, hey, by the way, pup, we're the leaders. But instead, your behavior in an attempt to coddle them or spoil them to make up, in quotes, for their life, it doesn't work, folks. You give them a job. You give them a job to be possessive and protective often. And it concerns them. Now they can't relax. So they haven't had a relaxed life as it is. Say you got them from an abusive situation. They were in the shelter. You think, I'm going to make up for all this. And now you start looking and sounding submissive. Oh boy. Well, we got an issue now because now your dog is going to rise up, take the power position. And now you're going to be dealing with your dog snapping at people. Not all dogs, but often I see this when people get dogs from the shelter. Be very, very careful. Is it wrong to feel sympathetic for a dog, to feel pity for a dog? No, absolutely it's not wrong. I feel it too. But as soon as you feel that human emotion, you need to say, okay, great. I'm going to let that pity motivate me to be the leader I need to be so this dog can relax for once in its life. Trying to coddle or spoil or give your dog some type of emotional softness will cause that dog in almost every single case to worry about you as they would worry about their puppies and to keep on guard with what comes around you. Be very, very careful with that. Number 3, love is not enough if we are merely loving ourselves using our dog. And I tell clients this all the time. We say, oh, I love my dog. And what we really mean is I love myself using my dog. Why do I say that? What do I mean? Because often when it's time to do something hard that doesn't feel sentimental, like draw a boundary line for your dog, say, nope, you can't do this. People will feel unloving and they'll feel like, oh, I don't want, but really what that feeling is you don't want that feeling. And so even if you know intellectually it will help the dog, emotionally you don't want to do it because of how it makes you feel. Well, is that really loving your dog? Those of you who are parents, you know, because you've encountered this with raising your kids, there are times you have to make a decision for your child that is unsentimental for you and that you wish you didn't have to do. You wish you didn't have to give them a consequence. You wish you didn't have to do this in response to what they did. But you think, if I don't do this, this can be bad news for them later on. And so you do it. You deny the sentiment in your heart for the long-term love of your child. It's the same with a dog. You're going to have a short-term sentimental feeling like, oh, I don't want it. It's sad. Please push that aside and say to yourself, no, I genuinely love this dog. And for the dog's good and for them coming to peace and harmony, I have to now do the thing that's hard for me to do emotionally, but I know is going to be great for this dog in the end, and make that decision. Love is not enough if you're merely loving yourself using your dog. Number 4, love is not enough if it is unwilling to do unsentimental things to help a dog. And actually, I just touched on this. I kind of combined it. So this is really, that's part of what I just shared with number 3. But just to reiterate, you are going to have to do a host of unsentimental things to help your dog understand you have leadership in the home and they can relax. Remember, a dog is not a human. And you may say, yeah, I know that. Do you though? Do you know your dog's not a human? I'm telling you, probably fully 60 to 70%, maybe a little more of my clients, it's just a feeling they have that they're kind of like a child. No, they misbehave like children do. But remember, a dog, Canis lupus, they are a species completely different from you. They are an apex predator. They have a different way of thinking. They have a different way of socializing. They have a different way of reading the world. Now, they have been domesticated. They were wolves at one time. They've been domesticated to the point that they accept people into their social groups, but their thought processes and the way that they operate is according to Canis lupus, according to the wolf kingdom. And you need to honor that. And you need to love them enough to understand their culture and know how you fit into it in a leadership role. Critical, critical, critical. Shelter dogs often come back because people treat them like poor baby instead of like, hey, apex predator that needs some help with some structure so they can come to some peace. They're high stress, they're high anxiety, stuff's been done to them. Life's never been stable. I'm going to provide not coddling and spoiled stuff, but I'm going to provide calm, confident leadership so this dog can say, at last, I can breathe easy and follow somebody for a change and know that things will be taken care of. That's the key. Understand where a dog comes from. They are an apex predator, as I just said. That's where they come from. That's their lineage. Don't treat them like a baby doll. They are not, and they deserve better than that. They deserve more dignified treatment than that. You have to adapt to be a canine leader because they can't adapt to your culture. Now, you may say, well, they have. Well, no, they haven't. And that's why there's so many problems with dogs and people and miscommunication. What domestication has allowed them, as I touched on earlier, to accept humans into their social group, but dogs are going to read us the way dogs read each other. Body language, facial expressions, sounds. Be very, very careful and educate yourself. Even listen back to my podcasts. Watch my videos on my Facebook, the American Dog Whisperer Facebook page, and you will see there are ways of learning how a dog perceives things. Make sure your love drives leadership, and you will enjoy a harmonious relationship with your dog, and they will enjoy a more peaceful existence. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Canine Lowe-Down. It's been an honor to have you with me. Remember, love is not enough unless it drives leadership. Treat your dog with the dignity their species deserves. Make sure you're not coddling and spoiling and thus giving your dog the wrong idea of what's going on. Let your sympathy, if your dog's had a bad situation before you adopted them, let your sympathy drive leadership to bring peace. The idea is not spoiling a dog. The idea is bringing peace to a dog, and your dog will thank you for it in so many words. If you have questions or comments or would like to book a dog training consultation with me, you can do so by visiting my website, AmericanDogWhisperer.com. Thanks for listening to the Canine Lowe-Down. Join me next time when, once again, I'll help you get wise to the whys behind your dog's behavior. I'm Nathan Lowe, the American Dog Whisperer. See you soon.
This is the Canine Lowe-Down with the American Dog Whisperer, Nathan Lowe. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast, and be sure to check out other great podcasts on the All Indiana Podcast Network. Online now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.